Hey guys, welcome to the Patriot Mouse News Show, and I want to talk about all hell that's breaking loose with this Fisa Memo. They really don't want this to come out, and even after it was passed to the Trump White House, the Democrats got together and wrote their own version of the memo and then tried to get approval for that to come out. So in other words, they're trying to rewrite history. That's quite crass of them. Then you have McCabe resigning at the FBI. So he knows his butt is toast. And the question is, who else? And my prediction is I think they're going to get Rosenstein. I think Rosenstein's going to get nailed. And the question is, if these people start facing real prison, they're going to sing against Obama. And that would just be a joy. Wouldn't that be a joy? Also, you have this really odd meeting of 5 FBI lawyers with Kelly, who's the chief of staff. Now, Kelly is chief of staff, but he's also the information control for Trump. He's kind of like the old guard, and quite, I won't say dislike, but I quite worry about Kelly. Now, if you've been listening, you'll hear that actually that was completely the wrong protocol. The chief of staff should not be finagling deals about information release. It should be the White House lawyers. There's a huge problem because if the White House changes the memo in any way, they are really taking away from the release. And actually, I'm not even sure they have the legal right to change it or make changes or to redact. I think Trump, if he has any brain at all, will insist it goes out as is. And hopefully will come out on Friday. If it takes until Monday, something's gone terribly wrong. It should not take that long. As Trump was walking out of the State of the Union, he commented that it was 100% that the memo would be released. We are going to learn basically that Hillary Clinton funded a fake dossier with her money, which went to the wife of McCabe. I forget whose wife it was. And she got... one of them got $500,000 in campaign funds directly from Hillary. The other got paid at Fusion GPS, the other wife, and raked in, I think, $700,000. It's kind of hard to say because they gave them huge salaries, and they were basically employed for the sole purpose of producing the memo. And I think their salary was $350,000 a year. So a lot of people were getting their wives big chunks of money. They don't make that much as government workers. They make pretty good, but they're not millionaires. So I think this coming out is going to be a big, big, big deal. Big deal. You would not have them try to stop it for so long. I think what Nunes did is he basically took all the shit and put it together in a way that the average American could digest it. And they say it paints an evil picture, but I think what really happened is they went to the Fisa court to get permission to spy on Carter Page and the rest of the Trump campaign team. They say the first time the judge rejected it, the second time it went through. But then they way exceeded their boundaries, and the Fisa court judge came back and said, hey guys, what the F are you doing? You were never granted authorization to do all that. And I think that's going to come out, and that's going to be quite tragic. So, alright, so all of that, all hell is going to break loose, and I can't wait. I'm just like, gosh, why isn't this out? Why isn't it out? But then we also have the State of the Union address. And the really sickening part was Trump making the call for unity to the Democrats. He's extending a hand out, and Nancy Pelosi's sitting there scowling at him. Scowling. I really think that the Democrats are insane. What they want DACA. They want to get another 20 million Democratic voters immediately. That's what they want. And they want to get them from the third world and from all these illegals that are in the country. And they're going to use the DACA premise to legalize everybody with no limits. They want no limits, they want no requirements, and they want it now. And what Trump is saying is, well, give me border security and a $25 billion wall fund, give me the end of chain migration, and give me, what else? Give me a priority intelligent-based immigration system. And then I will put your Dawkins on a path to citizenship in 10 to 12 years. And that's actually too much, especially for 1.8 million. It's way too huge a giveaway. And they're even scowling at that. Nancy Pelosi said he was trying to make the nation white again. Jesus Christ, like that's a bad thing. You know, shouldn't the nation historically be 88% Europanic? Like we've always been? And aren't the Democrats fighting hard to destroy the balance, the ethnic balance of our nation? Aren't we on a doomsday path? Aren't all the projections horrific that basically the Europanic population will slightly decrease with its 1.6 replacement rate? And by 2050, we're going to go from 70% Europanic to 45%. Now that sounds like a dramatic transformation. That sounds like the psychotic, nutso insanity view that is being pushed down Americans' throats, and we're sick of it. And any nudge to just slow it down a little, slow it down just a wee bit, so maybe we have 100 years to consider before we throw the white people away. Well, that's making America white. That's fascism. That's Hitler. Not that I'm against Hitler. Hitler was a great guy in many ways. But that's another story. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. They want to... I'm trying to figure out what's in their psychotic head. They want to turn America brown. They want to destroy white people. They want to make us a poor third world state, and I guess their goal is to be like Mexico, where they just sit on top as oligarchs and rape the riches and become billionaires. They want to do the same crap that's impoverished Mexico and led them to become a narco state. That's what they want. So if you want to figure out what the democratic goal for America is, just look at Mexico. It's not that hard to figure out, guys. It's not that hard. So the State of the Union pisses me off. The fact that Trump, I don't think it's 3D chess. I think Trump is just a grandfatherly guy. The fact that Trump is talking about actually giving full citizenship to people who snuck in the country, who swam across the river, who overstayed a visa, these are criminals. I can't go to any modern country on earth and pull that shit. I can't even go to a third world country and pull that shit. But they want America just to take it, just to do it because why? Why? The population, the people don't want it. We have zero representation, replacement without representation. Isn't that cause for civil war? I think it is. They want to fundamentally, well, first of all, the Europanic population is going to stay mostly the same. What's happening is blacks are growing tremendously. Their population is booming because they're all having welfare babies. And then even bigger than that, the flood of 40, 50, 60, 100 million Hispanics is just going to be overwhelming. So it's a recipe for disaster. I think our streets are crowded enough. I think our cities are crowded enough. I think our water reservoirs are low enough. I think we've passed carrying capacity of the country by 130 million already. I think we have to have a policy that gets us back to 200 million. That's what I think our policy needs to be. We literally do not have the cropland, the water. Maybe we have enough coal for a little while. We look at Lake Mead. Lake Mead has been drained into almost an empty pit. They say it's the drought, or California has water ration. It's the drought. It's not a drought. The rain is the same as it's always been. It's the fact that you've added another 50 million Hispanics from Mexico and Central America. Would they come if they couldn't get welfare, if they couldn't get earned income tax credits of almost $20,000 the first year they arrive? I don't think so. I don't think so. Would they come if they couldn't chain migrate their grandparents in, sign a pledge saying that they will always support them, and then immediately put them on disability and pull in $3,000 a month for them? I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's what we do. We have billions of these rip-off artists scamming the crap out of the system. My favorite is the Los Angeles babysitting program where two families live next to each other in Section 8. One family says they're babysitting the other family's kids, and the other woman says she's babysitting the other woman's kids. And they each get an extra $1,000 a month, plus free lunches, plus lunches all during the summer, and dinners, and breakfasts, free health care. Everything's free, paid for, easy. And then they use multiple assumed identities and drunk drive and just run away from the crash because it isn't even who they really are. I think America can't go down this path anymore. I think Trump is psychotic in offering an amnesty. What they should do is they should not do a combined bill. What they should do is they should take it point by point to a vote. And since most of these are procedural changes, not budgetary changes, they shouldn't need 60 votes. 50 should suffice. The only one that needs 60 is the border wall. And here's what I think. I think they shouldn't do it through a budgeting process. What they should do, as I've always said, is impose a 5% or a 10% security fee on all imports. And also they should tax remittances going to Mexico and Central America. And whatever they come up with, use a funding stream to pay for the wall. If Obozo can take the dividend earnings from the mortgages and use that to fund Obamacare, then why can't Trump find other streams of revenue and use it to fund his project? So I think that's where it's going to go. I think they're going to split the bill out. They should make it 3 or 4 bills. They should vote on each of them. If they can't do it through Congress, there are ways that Trump can do it himself. But let's give Congress a chance first. Let's see what Congress can do. And then the other thing that was not mentioned, E-Verify was not mentioned. That's not in the Lindsey Graham broomstick up my ass plan. Where's E-Verify? What happened to that? Where is stopping birthright citizenship or the misinterpretation of the 14th Amendment? Where has that gone? Where the hell is that? That is the most important thing. And that's not even on the agenda. Agenda? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. France overturned their birthright citizenship crap. I believe it was in 1962. We are 60 years old. 60 years stupid on the policy. Why? Why do we continue to let this clause, which was designed for freed blacks, to be applied to people who swim across our river and sneak in? It's ridiculous. It's utterly insane. We cannot do that. So, what do I think about the Dawkins? That's like the Vulcans, the Dawkins. Well, the Dawkins, I think here's what Trump's largesse should be. He should give them 1 year to figure things out. And if they're over the age of 18 and they haven't gotten either a work permit or on another visa program, they'd better get out, because after a year they're going to go to jail. And have a mandatory That's another thing. It cannot be a misdemeanor any longer to be in the country illegally. It has to become a felony. It's it's ridiculous that it's just a slap on the wrist. No, it should be a 30-day in prison, a 30-day in immigration jail, not regular prison, to 90 days, depending. And so if they don't want to spend 90 days in jail and then get deported, which is the only way you can do it, because if you march them to the other side of the border, they're just going to walk over the border the next day. What good is that? So Trump's big largesse should be no more than saying, we're going to give you a full year to figure things out and get on a visa program. Get in a school, get your F1 visa, what a H-1B, which is another thing. Where's the action on the H-1B visa? Silicon Valley is now like 90% Indians. We've thrown all those Americans into the streets. They're all starving. They've all had to find other careers. Where's the action on the H-1B genocide visa? Anyways, yeah, so Trump is giving full citizenship to DACAns is a huge mistake. 1 year they get as a postponed, delayed amnesty to figure things out, figure if they want to go home to their home country. Oh no, this is their home country. Yeah, look at those 50-year-old men who can barely speak English. No, I think they'll do quite fine in Mexico. Thank you very much. And the other thing is, we've got retirement communities in Mexico for Americans, like Chapala. So I don't want to hear this, oh, they don't even speak Mexican anymore. Doesn't matter. They can just go back. They can just go back. It's not a big deal. There was recently the story of a local church in town, and the pastor got on Tucker Carlson because a Guatemalan woman and her children requested sanctuary. She wanted to live in the church for free to make sure she wasn't deported. And the Presbyterian congregation voted and approved this, even though they didn't have any rooms or anything, any place for her really. But now she just lives at the church for free, and her kids all get welfare dollars. She's doing pretty good. And I'm like, there are homeless people that go to that church every Thursday night. And they go there for like just a little meal. Why is this church helping invaders and not our American homeless people? It just never ceases to amaze me how all of this bleeding heart nonsense for invaders occurs when there isn't a country on earth that does this. There's nobody. Nobody does this. You can't go to France and just be like, oh, I'm just here without a visa. I'm an American. I just decided to stay forever. You think they're going to let you do that? I don't think so. You could go to Switzerland and be like, I really like your melted cheese, so I'm just going to live here now. And, I'm going to protest for full citizenship and have marches. You think they're going to put up with that? I don't think so. Anyways, overall, yes, the State of the Union was okay. There was nothing memorable in it. He had no line that was powerful. So it was a bit mushy in my book. All I can say is he didn't screw it up. Also, what was this clapping for himself weirdness? I know he does that other places, but he's got a microphone in front of him, and you could hear the sound guy ferociously trying to keep up with his clapping and turn down the mic and then turn it back up when he starts speaking. Trump's a bit weird. I think if we don't get the Fisa Memo out, if he doesn't abandon this DACA citizenship crap, I think we've basically been hoodwinked. It's time for a third party. There is no possibility of working through the system, through the established parties anymore. It just is impossible. And really, things are so screwed up with our $20 trillion deficit. You know, they're talking about how great the economy is, how the unemployment numbers are so low. That's because everybody has fallen off the unemployment rolls for so long They're not counted anymore. We don't have low unemployment. We have 92 million Americans not working. That's like half. That's like 50% of our labor force isn't laboring. Who's going to pay the Social Security? And that's at 70% white people, or Europanic people, as I like to call them. What the hell's going to happen when it's 30% Europanic people? We're going to have like 80% of the country not working. They're just going to be like, oh, we're on the welfare or on the disability. That's madness. Anyways, let's see what happens. We're all excited. And again, the immigration story is going to play out for quite some time. We'll see. I'm not very hopeful.